my guy Miles. Good to see you,
Hey, G.
my boy.
Appreciate you having me, man. You already
Coming
know.
through and talking to the kids, being on the field. How you feel? Just giving back to the kids.
Yeah, fulfilled, man. I think ever since I stopped playing, this is kind of what I knew my passion was, and kind of going that route and mentoring kids, just being a resource for them, and kind of teaching the next wave, the next generation about more than football. It's a life thing, and yeah, I couldn't be more thrilled to be here and talk to them.
So you feel like now that you on your post career, like what's your why? Like what's your mission?
Yeah.
Going forward.
Yeah, I think football's just a special sport, and obviously we wouldn't even be here if it wasn't for football.
No, it connected us.
Exactly.
What, 15 years ago?
Yeah. And so I think when you look at it, I think everybody's relationship with football is unique, but I think everybody would say it's special. And so for me, it's kind of trying to get kids to understand how special football is, where it can take you, the people that you'll meet throughout the process, and just not to take it for granted. And I think at the end of the day for these kids, man, you don't know what they have going on. The moment they leave this building, you don't know what they have going on, what they're doing. But while they're in this building for the hour and a half that they're here, at least we know that it can be about football. It can be about, growing relationships. It can be about finding a brotherhood. It could be about a lot of other things that translate over into life.
Right. So is that like the message, like for these young kids that you coming across, and I know you got plans to continue to make an impact. Like what's the message you trying to lead them with?
Yeah, I think it's exactly that, man. Football is so much more than just a sport, man. You learn life lessons in this game. If you're not detailed on the field, you're not going to be detailed in your life. Like that's a crazy
Translates,
thing to think,
right?
It's a crazy thing to think of. And
how you do one thing is how you do everything.
How you do everything, and unfortunately for us, like it's if you're undisciplined or undetailed as a man, you're going to find yourself in some pretty poor situations, man. And I don't want to see any kid go through that. I don't want to see any kid make those type of mistakes that that can be cleaned up. And it's simple. It's not easy, man. Like football is not an easy game. It's simple. It's very simple.
But not easy.
But it's not easy, and neither is being a man, or neither is growing up. And in this day and age, and quite honestly, I just feel like the more we could preach to our kids about what football can bring you, in a sense of not on the field but off the field, like the better we're making this place.
Yeah, I love that, and just the amount of kids that play the sport of football, but then it's such a big group of them in the youth level. It gets smaller in high school, it gets smaller in college, and then NFL is like the top 1%. It's fun, to let these kids know, yes, football is important, right? And a lot of y'all start playing youth, you playing high school, but for a lot of people, it's going to be over after that. So understanding that you have more value beyond just a football player, but as a man, you using football as habits to go into whatever that next phase is. So I love that you with that message and you spreading that, bro. And coming from you, I'm sure it's going to attach to a lot of kids, a lot of people, being able to hear your story and know what you stand for. So I love it, bro.
Yeah, and I think, like you kind of just mentioned, you don't know where football is going to end for you. But regardless of what that is, your career was a success. I mean, I look at these kids out here today, and it's like, kid telling me how much money he got off at St. Rita, and it's like, do you realize there's so many people in this world that wish they could be paid to go to a school? Mm-hmm. Wish that they could have some sort of scholarship to attend a school. It's like, you've already won. Now take advantage. Like, you're going to get a great education at St. Rita. Take advantage of it.
Yeah.
If it ended college, man, you are going to college on a full ride scholarship. Who cares if you don't make the NFL, man? You walking out of college debt free. The world is yours. You can do whatever you want to do. Mm-hmm. So don't get to college and waste, your 4 years there, 4 or 5 years there. I mean, 6 years now with these kids, but don't get to college and waste your time on, things that are going to be irrelevant in 20 years. Like, yes, do everything it takes to try to play football at the next level, but if it doesn't work out, you got to be doing something on the side that's setting you up for the next, career that you're going to have. And so I think that's what my message really is, and I feel like it sounds crazy coming from someone who did play in the NFL.
Right, but, and they like, wait, bro, you played 7 years in the league.
Right,
it's easy for you to say that, but it makes sense though.
Yeah, it's just it's hard for kids to understand, man. Like, wherever this journey takes you, it's already put you in such a better place that you would have been without it. So take advantage of it.
Now ever since you said that, I've been thinking about it. You said you're going to get a great education at St. Rita.
Get
Now,
the education
hold
at St.
on.
Rita.
It ain't better than Fenwick. It ain't better than Providence. I don't know what Brother Rice do, but I don't know where St. Rita ranked. Yeah, I was saying it's going to be a good education.
Okay, put it this way. If they paying you
And no shade on
St.
St. Rita.
if they paying you money to go play a sport and you getting an education there,
That's a win.
that's a win, man.
Yeah.
It's a win. It's a
I
win.
agree.
I mean, who knows what his home school would have been, where he would have been going to college, or where he would have been going to high school at. To me, it's more so. We look at it and we say like, okay, what is your ceiling as a player? And we try to put these ceilings on kids, and I hate it just because it's like, dog, you could go play at a D3 and be at a good school, and now you got a degree, and you would have never even sniffed a degree if it wasn't for you playing football.
Yes.
So get there and be serious about that degree and make some connections, network with people, and man, just take that and run with it, because you are not just a football player.
Yes.
Football is what got you here, yeah, for sure. But now use it to get you somewhere else.
Yes, 100%. Well, man, I'm excited for your post-career transition and everybody you're going to impact and what you got coming up. So it's nice that you back in the community, bro. You know?
I appreciate you. I'm going to have you come speak for me now.
Yeah, man.
Favor for a favor.
Hey, that's what we do, bro. And that's why my whole motto, bro, is since I got to college and was together we rise. You know, we can all help each other. You know, how can we serve each other and serve other people? And I really measure success not by just what you do, but how many people you uplift as you go on your journey. And, so we can uplift each other, uplift the kids, and just keep it moving. You got any questions for me?
Yeah, man. So your journey after college, man, how did that transpire to get to where you are today from, working for the agency to being here? And I just feel like you wear so many hats, man. There's a lot of things that you do in terms of helping the community and helping these young players, man. So how did you get to that point?
Man, it was tough for me, bro. Like, I really thought I had all these goals going to UConn. I'm going to be a freshman All-American. I'm going to, go and play in the league. Like, I had all them aspirations. And I was serious about it. Like, one of my roommates, Hergy Mayala, he was very disciplined. He was like top 10 pick in the CFL. He's from Montreal, and we was grinding together. He played receiver, I played DB, so it's like we're going to facility, getting releases, one-on-ones, like iron and sharper iron. So when it didn't work out at UConn, and I realized I wasn't going to the league, and I had to transition. Actually, Bob Diaco was my head coach at UConn. He came from Notre Dame. And I loved him. Like, he poured life into me. He recruited me, and he let me know, like, yo, you can play at the next level. He ended up getting fired, and, you get a new staff. Things just changed, and a lot of kids around college football go through that. But when it didn't work out, it was tough, bro. I was really, sad, I would say, in a vulnerable position like that first year after. And I also graduated early. I was a junior. I was 2018, and I could have played. I had 2 more years of eligibility. I wonder if my eligibility is still good.
Nowadays it might be.
Right. People playing, they get back in the game. I might be able to go back. But I definitely struggled that first year. I was happy to got a job at Fenwick coaching football. So from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m., I was doing consistent service work with a senator down Harmon. From 4 to 6, I was coaching football at Fenwick. My old coach, Gene Nudo, gave me the job. And I found that purpose, like, okay, now I can pour into these kids. And I ended up taking a 3-year break, came back to be with that group their senior year, and we went on to win a state championship, and I was a defensive back coach. And I'm still cool with those kids now. Now they seniors in college. And it was nice, like, for me to refill my purpose. Then in terms of getting back into the training thing, that was the opening to training, because now I'm working with high school kids. I'm seeing them backpedal. I'm like, nah, that ain't right. I'm seeing them break. I'm like, man, you need some work. Let's pull up to the field, summertime. And at first I was just doing it in the summer. I was doing it from, May to about the end of July, then they go to camp. So then I just transpired into this now, opening it up all year round outside of the season. And I feel like I found my purpose, man, training the kids, but then with the agency stuff, being able to now provide the value with kids. Because before, you can't have no agent at high school or college. You only had for professional. So being able to work with high school, college, and pros now, like, I'm in such a great space that I can feel like, man, I found my purpose outside of playing football. And it took me a while though, and it wasn't easy.
And I feel like that's why more kids need to hear that story, because it's like we all got dreams, we all got goals in the specific sport that we play. And there's never going to be anything wrong with that. I encourage that. I want kids to have that. But at the same time, just because that doesn't work out, that doesn't make you a failure.
Right.
Like, look at AG and look at all the things that he's accomplishing now because of the sport of football.
It opened the door.
You wouldn't be doing any of the things that you're doing now if it wasn't for football.
No.
And I'd say
what I would be doing.
Like what you're doing right now is special.
Yeah.
And so that's what I want these kids to understand. It's like, dog, who cares if you don't play in the NFL? Who cares if you don't go D1? Like, look at where football has gotten you and use that as a way to become better as a man and to do things. No one said it's going to be easy. Like, it's hard as hell. Like, man, I had all these goals, man. When I got drafted, I was going to be a Pro Bowler, All-Pro, Hall of Famer, all this stuff. It didn't work out that way. Does that mean my career was a failure? Absolutely not. Because what defines success is what you're saying is like by how many people you uplift. And if what we're doing and what we mean is going to happen, man, I'm pouring life into these kids in every situation and showing them that there's more than one way to get to where you want to go.
Yeah, bro. Well, we on the right path ourselves, right? And we still learning. Like, we don't even have all the answers to the test. You know, it's like one of the things, like, you go in life, you got a mission, you got a plan, and you stick to that plan unless you got to pivot. But, you know, being willing to fail, too. I think that's big for kids to know, like, failure is fine. Fail often, fail fast, fail with a smile, almost like, okay, I'm failing because you're trying. Yeah. Like, you wouldn't be failing if you wasn't trying. So I'm like, failure is cool, bro. Embrace that. And then it only take 1 or 2 times for you to get it right. Then you know, now you're in the right lane, right space, and you moving forward. But you can't make it without failing.
Yeah. And I got a question for you, man. If you had one thing that you could tell these kids and a message to just everybody that this is gonna reach, what would you tell them? What would be your message to them?
First thing that came to my mind is keep God first. Okay. You know, because you gotta have some kind of foundation that's gonna lead and guide you. Like, I feel confident in my day because I wake up and I pray, God, please lead and guide me in the right direction. So I would say keep God first, and then let Him lead and guide you. And then, you know, as you get into interaction with people and you get into whatever your day entails, because everybody's day look different. Some people wake up, go to work, some people don't work, but when you do have your interaction, whatever your day look like, if you look to see how you can give rather than what you can receive, that would be my message. Keep God first. Look how you can serve other people. Look what you can give and not just what you can take. I feel like you do that, you're on the right path.
Absolutely, man. I don't think I could have said it any better. I think anybody can benefit from that, and it's just, man, it's special working with kids and aspiring athletes, because I think at the end of the day you look at them and you just see so much creativity, you see so much, you know, just hard work, and these kids won't be denied, man. And my only purpose is, if you work as hard as you do at football at anything else in your life, you're gonna be successful. I don't care what you pick. Like, if we got dudes here working out at Saturday at 7 a.m. Who's up doing schoolwork at 7 a.m. on a Saturday? It ain't too many people, man. You put that effort into any other facet of your life, man, you're gonna be very successful.
Yeah, man. I think we could both agree. Whatever. I'm just gonna echo what you said. Whatever industry you in,
it don't matter.
If you work hard, you put in the work, you're gonna be successful. You're gonna reach your goal. But I think I might get the quote wrong. I hope I don't. But hard work don't promise you anything, but without it, you don't stand a chance.
Yeah. It's something like that.
Something like that.
But it's true. It's true, man. Football was the hardest thing I ever had to do. Everything else after football has been, I'm not saying it's not hard, but it's been very doable. I'll say that.
Right, yeah,
very doable. There's times in
I feel
football
the same.
where it's like, dog, I got an answer for it. It's way harder than some of the things that you do. Like, going to Notre Dame for 4 years was the hardest 4 years of my life.
Did you ever have Bayless at Notre Dame?
Oh, yeah.
Bro, if you did Bayless,
how you gonna tell me anything is harder than that?
If you went through Matt Bayless workouts, anything is possible, bro. That's what
Anything,
literally
anything.
though, like
Anything.
that mindset that you develop waking up at 5 a.m., 6 a.m. to get that work in with Bayless in the off season. It's January and you work until about July.
Yeah.
Anything is possible.
And you got to go to class on top of that?
And you gotta go to class.
Class was the easy part. That's what I try to get these kids to understand, man. If you could just translate your work to something else, you're gonna feel like, man, this is nothing compared to what I was doing before. I was in the gym 8 hours a day.
Yeah, bro.
People work for that time. Like, you're sitting down. It's all a mental thing at that point.
It's all a mental thing, man. Some of my teammates that had Bayless, I'm sure you could relate to with your guys at Notre Dame. We still talk about. I'm like, yo, you know how things going? Boom, 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 and like they be like, man, if I went through Bayless, this light work. Like you just said, it's doable because you've been through harder things, and that's what football exposed us to. So I'm grateful for it all, bro.
Shout out to Bayless, man.
Shout out to Bayless, man. But I think we can end it there, bro. It was good chopping it up.
That was great, man. Thank you for having me, man.
Yeah, we on to the next generation now.
We getting old.
Yeah.